Okay, so how you guys doing? Welcome back. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Uh, this act set up a lot, and I mean a lot. I mean, and it's basically the point of no returns. I have just so many conflicting emotions about so many of the characters too, because they just like I said, there's no black and white anymore. There's no set sides because each side has their own gray area of morality. I mean, like it's just really hard to try to press somebody about their decisions when you see the reasoning behind it. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. I don't even know where to start. Anyways, guys, welcome back. Again, I got my audio. I think it's fixed now. In the last Let's Talk, it was a little low, but I like the conversations. I like the conversations that I saw in the comments, man. The different perspectives that you guys were talking about in there, and the thing, and different sides and points of views of certain characters that I didn't have, especially and a lot regarding Powder's mental instability. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I guess I wasn't too privy of, but at the same time, I'm glad that we had those conversations, and most of all, I'm glad you guys were respectful with it. There's nobody screaming or shouting at each other about like, oh, you're wrong or this is wrong. It's simply just different points of views that we were able to discuss. And I know people want me to do reactions to these episodes, but honestly, I kind of like us reviewing and watching the episodes, and we just simply come here and just talk about how it made us feel. We theorize what's going to happen next, and we just overall just gush about this show, because I know a lot of people are talking about it. I know a lot of people are reviewing it right now, but one thing I don't see enough of, I don't know if I'm coming from a certain bias or not, but I don't see enough raving about the animation. I really don't, because I see a lot of reviews. I watch people different videos on it and see how other people react to it and everything. But I don't think I see enough raving about the animation. That's probably just me, because I absolutely adore animation, and it's one of my dreams to get better at, and when I think I was connecting with some of you guys who are artists and animators, and you kind of feel the same way that I do, that watching this show, it toes the line for us at jealousy and inspiration. We kind of have to walk that line, because they're two sides of the same coin. But yeah, man, like I really haven't seen anything like this, and I haven't had anything fuel me as an artist since Spider-Verse, when that came out, and the triumph that movie was, and like Spider-Verse 2 is in development too right now. And I think one of my favorite animators, Spencer Wan, he's actually on that project too, on the development team. But yeah, man, it's just everything about this animation. Like you guys know I'm an action junkie, and I love strong choreographed and stylized action and everything. But funny enough, this act, these 3 episodes had a lot of that and was impressive. But what really stood out to me, funny enough, was not even that. It was actually the characters' emotional responses to situations. Like whether it's Vi being snarky or Powder's manic moments. It's just the subtle shifts in their facial expressions really just shows the detail and care that the animators had towards really letting you know how this character is feeling right now, man. And I think, surprisingly enough, I was looking forward to the action, but it's really those little things that just tip it over the edge, because at certain points, you can hide behind good action. Like if you see something fast enough, it can show off as a good sequence, as a good action sequence. Not to say that they were doing it here, but that's some of the techniques that you can do to get away with some of those things, is hide behind fast movements and not have a good foundation for animation. But it's just another level here, because when you see like a character like Marcus who's going through a tough situation right now and frustrated with his situation, you see it in his face, whether it's like the subtle movement in the eyebrows, or when Powder is having her standoff with Savika, and she has like those egging moments of pushing her buttons, and like the little smirk she gives her too, like the stuff they don't even have to do, but they just portray it in such a human way that it looks so believable, and you're wondering like, wow, I'm just thinking here like, wow, how did they do this? But yeah, I'm gushing as an animator. Anyway, so like, let's get into it, man. Like, cause I have a lot of thoughts, man. I have a lot of thoughts, and like I said, like I just want to kind of dive deep into what we're seeing so far, man, because it's a time skip. It's a time skip that happens, and that's and that's my favorite things. When I do watch anime and like they go through a time skip, I just wonder where the characters are at and everything. I don't even consider it's not considered anime, but just like a certain parallel between the two. That's one of my favorite aspects of it. I was just excited to see where the characters are at, and we start off with Jace here, man. It's funny how the promise of profit and money can change a lot of people's narratives, man, because he is considered wait a minute pilt over. Did I say it right? Pilt over. Did I say it right? Damn it. Oh, I was just sorry. Another comment said I was saying it wrong. Okay, he was like, he didn't want to be a nerd, but feel free to be a nerd. Okay, this is a safe space for nerds, weebs, and geeks. I don't care if you correct me. I'm not that pressed about it. Pilt over. Did I say it right? You can tell me. But yeah, he seems to be the golden boy of the town, and like it kind of opens up with the Himmendinger. Probably said that name wrong. And him having a conversation about one of the moguls of this town, and like how he sacrificed his ambitions to build up his students for the future. And I guess that kind of relationship between Himmendinger and Jace has now. But I still see there's still reluctance in Himmendinger's eyes, when he talks to Jace, because like although Jace is proving himself, I'm still shocked and scared that he's done a lot for the city, but it's still like that hesitancy that I see, because like they're making a lot of advancements, but at a certain point, I feel like it's going to come down all around his head, because where they lead with their relationships between him and this mentor figure in Himmendinger, I was like, man, it really be your own. I can't believe he did him that way, but. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I can't even press him about it, because like the situation that he has with Victor and how Victor ends up, it's like we got to get the ball movement, man. We don't have any time for caution, because I really wasn't starting from Act 1 with Jace and the politics that he was getting himself into. It didn't really hook me in Act 1, but now in the show in Act 2, I was really intrigued on how they were handling the ongoings of how things get done in Piltover. Because on the one hand, you have Himmendinger, who kind of represents caution for Jace, and on the other hand, you have Murdarda. She's kind of that person in the ear. It's similar to like the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder, trying to pull you on one side and one the other. It kind of represents two ends of the opposite coin. While you have caution on one side, you do have, I don't even want to call it recklessness, but it's just like an overexertness of ambition, because I don't know her game. I really don't know her game. But there's a certain point in one of the 3 episodes where it's a similar moment in Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin and Palpatine are talking, and Palpatine is just spewing venom in Anakin's ear, just giving him everything that he wants to hear. I kind of felt that same energy from Murdarda here, because I really don't know her goal in all this. There's certain moments where I think she has like an alternative motive, and then she does develop a certain relationship with Jace here, that's very wholesome too. So it kind of tugs me back and forth, and it really just goes back to like the animators' jobs and really the production of the show to really show the human aspects of these characters through facial emotion, because it just ties you up so fucking emotionally watching these characters. And I'm thinking to myself, like, god damn, I don't know, I really don't know if she does have an ulterior motive. But moving on, man. So we see a lot of the characters progression, and we see Jace's and Victor's advancement and their status in the city, but it also comes with a lot of eyes on what they're doing right now, and we get a lot into the corruption of how far it goes in Piltover, because we are introduced to the Fireflies, or no, the Firelights. I was confused. Yeah, I was like, I had to put the subtitles on. I was like, are they saying Fireflies or Firelights? But they were saying Firelights. I was like, well, Fireflies seemed like it was a better name, doesn't it? Didn't it? I thought it would be a better name, Firelights, right? I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, the introduction to these guys, we see Savika doing her corrupt business in Piltover, and we get introduced to these guys, and it's like a dope moment. They're coming out of these tunnels, and like they're on these hoverboards, and there's speculation, right? I think somebody told me this. There is speculation that the masked leader of this gang here, is it Echo? Ooh, excuse me. Is it Echo? I'm kind of hoping it is Echo, because we don't see him at all. In this act, because I was ecstatic to see him in Act 1, but we don't see him at all unless that's him. I guess we're going to find out in Act 3 the way this act ended. But yeah, we don't see him at all, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it could be him. I was just looking for any type of slight indication, maybe like a little sliver of skin in his outfit to show brown skin. I don't know. But yeah, they raid Savika's transaction, and everything is going well, because they're kind of known. They made a name for themselves. They're just kind of like I guess like freedom fighters. I don't even know what you call them, but they're making trouble for Silco's group. So I guess they're good enough, because we don't really see the enforcers kind of putting a bad light on them. It's really Silco's having the problem with them. But once they get on this airship, talk about a time skip where you see your favorite character in the previous arc progress into something else. We get introduced to Powder. I guess we should start calling her Jinx now. She has this Batman-like type entrance, because two of the Firelights go into like the storage room and everything, and they set off her trap, and they automatically know what's up, because they see they see her symbol, or I guess her bat symbol, and I swear to God, it was like a scene out of The Dark Knight or something, where the criminals knew what was up, and like one of the Firelights said, it's her. I swear this was like a Batman scene, man. The way Jinx she's become a full-blown ninja. I'm like, oh, like damn, like her environment, not her environment, but her gadgetry and everything, it's so ninja-like, and the way she just kind of like from her hideout, I guess her Jinx cave, if you want to call it that, the way she's like, hanging around in the rafflings above Silco's office and everything. I was like, she's like a full-blown ninja. I was like, well, damn, I like this a lot. But it's so good seeing her like this, because she's so capable now. It was just hard picturing like this was the same girl that we saw in Act 1. And she's just grown so much. It's such a twisted lens seeing her this way, because like we know the environment that she's grown up in, and we know like her mentor, who's been Silco, like this. It's just such a twisted, sick look at it, because her father figure Vander previously was killed by this guy, and that was something that I wasn't even sure that she was aware of. I wasn't even sure that she was aware that Silco killed Vander. You know, I'm not even sure that was addressed or anything, because like we have that moment with Silco and her giving Jinx, you know, the whole speech where he almost drowns and telling her to let go of Powder. Ironically enough, in the same place that Vander tried to kill Silco. So like she's aware that they didn't end on good terms, but is she aware that she's talking to the guy who killed her secondhand father? I'm not sure. But speaking of Jinx though, the voice actor, I forgot her name. She is a phenomenal actress, and it goes really hand in hand with the animation too. You got to have good voice acting too. I need to let me find her name real quick, because she was in Army of the Dead, the Zack Snyder film, as Kate. Oh my gosh, what was her name? It's gonna drive me fucking crazy. Hold on. Oh my god, I think it's Emma something. Oh my gosh. She was definitely in Army of the Dead as Dave Bautista's daughter. Dave Bautista's character's daughter. God damn it, what is her name? Oh my gosh. I gotta find out. I think her name was Emma something. Oh god. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue too. It's at the tip of my tongue. Let me see. Ella Purnell. Oh shit! Thank goodness, it's gonna drive me crazy. Ella Purnell. I gotta say, she's doing phenomenal work, because when Jinx is having these manic moments and when she's having like those hallucinations and everything, there's a break and a shudder in her voice. And it sounds so goddamn believable too, because like there's moments where she has, I guess, Harley Quinn comedic timing, you know, and she just has like very lighthearted moments where we find comedy in her manicness. But there's other moments where you kind of just feel for her so much, because the voice acting is so good. The way she embellishes her voice, and the way where her voice cracks when she's having a mental breakdown, or she's just screaming or pleading. You know, it makes it so believable, and it all wraps up in the character too, from like the animation and the facial expressions and the voice acting. It really builds a solid foundation for the character that you're watching. So I can't commend her enough. She's even like Haley Steinfeld, she does a phenomenal job too. I mean, like it's just great all around, because it makes it so believable when you have these top-notch talented actresses doing voiceover work. And it really just goes unnoticed, because like last episode, I didn't even know that somebody brought this up to me too. I didn't even know, like last act, I didn't even know that Milo's voice actor was one of my favorite voice actors and voiced a lot of characters I was fond of. Oh my god, blanking on his name too. The guy who played Sasuke, who plays Simon. Oh god, what is his name? It's not Yuri. Is it Yuri? Yeah, he plays Spider-Man too. Yuri something, right? Yuri, yeah, man. It's like voice acting just kind of goes under the radar sometimes when we're watching good animation. We kind of forget that they're the unsung heroes bringing these characters to life. But yeah, man, it was great seeing her work in this. But moving on. So like that's one character, Jinx, who just had like a complete transformation, and her introduction was awesome, because she is wiping the floor with these guys. And there's a moment where she kind of kills a pink hair character and it sets her off. And I'm wondering how this is going to play too as well, because if that is Echo, the masked leader, he has a very strong reaction to what happened to that pink hair character, because Jinx just kind of fucking offs her. And he kind of loses it there. So if that happens to be Echo, oh, that's gonna be something to play with, man. That's gonna be something to see, because like I said, this series is really putting their characters through the ringer. I mean, a lot. It's putting a lot of characters in tough situations where they used to be on good terms in Act 1, but now everything is such a jumbled gray area mess where you don't even know what's going to be the right decision, because everybody has like a unique situations where you can't say what was right or wrong, because it's happening so fast, and like it's becoming just the entangled web of morality, man. It really is something to chew on for viewing. Oh my gosh. But anyways, speaking of a character that really didn't hold my interest in Act 1, I gotta say I really like Caitlyn in this second act, because she's kind of taking the seat of us as the viewer, trying to figure this out. Because I did a reaction, and for I think Warriors was the video, and Caitlyn was in that video, and I didn't know it was her. So I was stuck wondering, like, well, how did this girl get to her? And she's a sharpshooter too. Although she's very naive in nature, the girl could throw down. The girl could kind of throw down. Because she's lived a very sheltered life. So it was interesting seeing her react to the world. And this is something that she wanted to do anyways, because her parents were protecting her from everything, from Piltover, from like the undercity and everything. But this is something that she wanted too. Because there's moments where you want to say, oh, she's just so adorable. She doesn't know what's happening while she's in the undercity. But there's other moments where her naivete, I guess you should say, it becomes so annoying too. Because when you see somebody who's lived such a privileged life, and she's just reacting to like a lot of Vi's hardships and everything, like it's just so surprising to her that something could happen to the person. You can't blame her for having this mindset, but at the same time, it's like, you live in a fucking complete different world. Oh my gosh, it was just annoying seeing her like, well, where are your parents? Well, where the fuck do you think they were? They were killed by the people you have your job with. and it's funny enough, because the introduction to her, she does her detective work of the airship and everything, and guess who's the sheriff chief in command? Fucking Marcus. This guy, I busted out laughing. I really did bust out laughing when this guy had the balls to say, when he finds Caitlyn doing her detective work, and he's like, oh, we have a chain of command. I was like, fuck you. This was Caitlyn's doing like the bare minimum of what you did in Act 1. Going into the last drop and fucking swinging your dick around essentially, and saying like, you people are all the same. I was like, the nerve of this guy. But again, we'll get into that, because there's some things I want to say where I actually found him somewhat. I found somewhat sympathy for him and his character, because him and Silco. We'll get into that. But I gotta say that my favorite dynamic, my favorite tit for tat that I was watching in the series was definitely between Caitlyn and Vi. They're kind of towing a line between somewhat of a flirtatious relationship and just being comedic duo and partners, because like her name Cupcake for Caitlyn is just so spot on. It's just so spot on, because these are two very capable individuals. These are two very capable characters too, because we know Vi can throw down, but Caitlyn, she's a very capable, damn good near shot. And there's like a moment where Jace visits her too, and she doesn't have her uniform on. Dude, she is fucking jacked. She's fucking jacked, dude. I am definitely. She's turning out to be one of my favorite characters, and it is due to her relationship with Vi. Because when Vi comes back, man, it's such a cool scene. It is a great way to end the first episode of Act 2. She goes to Stillwater Prison, and she's looking for the guy she kind of questioned in the smuggling incident. And she's talking to like the guard and everything. She's like, I want to question the guy, and he's like, yeah, it's not really possible. And she was like, well, why? You know, like I just saw him today. She's like, well, he's not in the best position to be talking right now. She's like, why? This is important. I need to talk to him. He's like, well, yeah, you can talk to him. Just expect you to be doing most of the talking and him not responding, because lack of not being able to move your fucking jaw. It was a great introduction to bring Vi back. Oh my gosh, Haley Steinfeld is such a fucking treasure, man. It's such a fucking. Oh my gosh, I love the introduction back to her, because once we get this dialogue between Caitlyn and Vi, it's such a it's such a treat to see on screen. She's like, "Why are you here?" She's like, "Because of my shining personality." I don't know. Oh my gosh, Haley, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But when Caitlyn introduced the possibility that Powder is still around, it kind of sets Vi's off, and Vi goes on a fucking warpath. She really does, man, because she goes straight to last drop. And there's a cool scene. And I just gotta say this. Oh gosh, we know my disdain for Silco, we really do. But it's just, does your fucking treachery know no bounds at all? This guy just took over the establishment, and it's like, once we get introduced to the Undercity, Zaun, I should say, they don't say that enough too either. It's not even Zaun; it's still called the Underground City, but only really Silco is calling it Zaun. I don't know. But yeah, it's such a twisted mirror that we're seeing Underground in, because Vander was running ship, and it seemed like a strong community. But now in Act 2, it's like everything is like in a funhouse mirror, because he just kind of changes everything, and the Underground just has like a very different vibe now. If you thought it was cutthroat before, now it just seems like it's the Wild West. Even though it was before, it seems like everything is just cutthroats, and there's no loyalty anywhere, and everybody's just strung out junkies. And now it just really looks like the slums, where everybody took pride in the place that they live. Now it just seems like everybody's just either ashamed from coming there, or it's just a criminal environment through and through. But going to the last drop, this fucking guy, man, it's just the disrespect to Vander's memory. You killed the man. At least, oh god, at least have the common decency to leave his establishment alone. Because where you see this is a wholesome bar where you can actually, I guess like relax and not feel threatened by the community or there's certain people you have in your surrounding environment, everything. At least that was like a safe place where you can actually find some chill moments. But we go into the last drop, it turns into like a fucking nightclub. Everybody is doing that shimmer heroin, whatever you want to call it, and he's just sitting back in the office. Oh my gosh, I wanted to vomit. I just wanted to vomit. I really did. I was just, the level of disgust I saw was just, oh god, I can't stand this guy. And to drive the dagger in my heart a little bit more, man, he's established a relationship with Powder that it's hard to watch, but at some moments it's kind of wholesome, I guess, and I'm fight back the urge to just vomit when I say that too, because she has like a close relationship with Silco now, and a lot of you guys pointed out, at the end of Act 1, when Vi kind of leaves her in the rain next to Vander dead and destruction all around her, she just she has that attachment issues where she latches on to the first person she sees. It's the first person she sees, because she's just so emotionally unstable right now that she just needs somebody to anchor her down, and Vi was that anchor. Vi was that emotional support that she needed. And I gave a lot of slack. I gave a lot of flack to Powder in that first act, but like you guys pointed out too, and I started seeing it in more I watched Act 1. Yeah, you gotta kind of blame Vi there too. She brought him on the job. She's the oldest. She influenced her, and a lot of the things that Vi did, Powder looked up to her. And when you kind of just drop her, somebody you've been, taking care of your entire life, and just kind of, and you know what, you get it too. You do get it. Because if I just had enough at that certain point, So I mean, like I said, you can't really place the blame on one person. There's a lot of gray areas here, but you know, the person that she just happens to attach to is the fucking villain. It's the fucking villain, man. And I guess in some way, oh gosh, I don't even want to say it. In some way, Silco, it benefited Powder to grow up under Silco's wing, and I know you're gonna hate me for it, but I guess I just kind of have to say it. It's just in some way, yeah. I have to commend Silco for bringing her up, because, like I said, when we get introduced to Jinx now, she's somewhat capable. She's somewhat capable, man. She's a very capable fighter. She can take care of herself, and she's fucking cool when she's doing it. I can't lie. Yeah, she's like a fucking ninja, and I love ninjas. Naruto's one of my favorite fucking series. And she's like a Harley Quinn ninja, man. I was like, yeah, I can't lie. Silco did a great job making sure she can take care of herself. But fuck him, man. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck Silco. I can't stand that guy. Fuck him. Anyway, so moving on. So yeah, so once we get Vi out of prison, right? She kind of, there's a cool moment. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to start that. I don't know why I did that. There's a cool moment where she does her parkour scene, and Caitlyn gets her out of prison, and she just kind of makes a beeline to the last drop, and it's actually there's a certain pause that Vi has, you know, in the upper city in Piltover, and when she does her parkour sequence, which is really fucking cool, by the way. I love the different shots, and I love the camera angles and the dynamic movements that they were doing with that. I watched it like 3 times, not like 3 times from the episode, but like I've rewinded 3 times and watched it because it's that fucking cool. Yes, so there's like a moment where she's at Piltover, and she just looks stressed out, you know, and then like she gets her parkour going, and then it's like she kind of lands in the underground, and she feels like she can breathe. You know, I thought it was like a cool dynamic of where she was in her environment and where she felt the most comfortable, because like, you know, the underground, it's like all these toxic fumes everywhere, you know, like the stench of, I guess, shimmer junkies, and like it just looks like toxins just fill the air. But you know, she's back home, and I guess that stuff is kind of normalized to her, because she just takes that sigh of relief when she lands, and it's like it's like the Piltover for her was suffocating, where she found relief back in Zon. But it's a funny moment between like they keep playing this up, these comedic elements between Vi and Caitlyn, because while Vi is doing this crazy parkour stuff, flipping around like she acrobatic and everything, there's this moment where we're back in Piltover, and Caitlyn kind of looks on, and she's taking like every precaution, not doing anything. We see it a lot of times where in movies where like there's like a very fast character, and then like the normal character is just kind of sitting back and saying, I'm gonna take this route instead of doing that. I'm gonna kind of tiptoe over here and not do that. I love those moments, man. It was very cool doing that, because Caitlyn, like I said, Caitlyn is kind of taking our seat as the audience and seeing things reacting to her, and we kind of see it through her eyes. But it's very cool to see that. It's very cool to see that. But yeah, moving on. So she makes a beeline straight for Zon, and we see her get some information from, like, I guess like that brothel and everything, and we see more of that relationship between Caitlyn and Vi too, where it's kind of a flirtatious, and Vi really was aggressive. And I was like, is this going somewhere? I was like, I was hoping it was. But yeah, so she gets information from like this older Yordle, I want to say, to get Savika's location. And when she finds her, man, oh man, oh man, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this was a treat. And this was something I was waiting for too. Because while, you know, we've had a lot of cool action sequences and everything, seeing Vi versus Savika was honestly like Like I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic because we know Vi is a very capable fighter, but they played the music too, Enemy, and when they fucking dropped the music and everything just from Vi's knee, I was like, dude, that shit was. God damn it, it was hot. It was hot, man. It was hot. I couldn't lie. I was like, well, damn. I was like, wow. Okay. So they're getting into it and everything, and Vi is handing Savika her fucking ass too, until she brings out this fucking metallic arm and everything. So we know Vi is a very capable fighter, and we know Vi is the better fighter too. And it speaks more to Vi's fighting capability because she's winning most of it too. It's not then until like where she brings out the fucking bionic arm and starts manhandling Vi. There's like this one cool shot where she swings her around and slams her, and the camera kind of just moves with it too. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this is awesome. But there's this one moment where Vi gets the upper hand, and like she's like staggering back and forth, and she's like, come on, I ain't done with your ass yet, bro. I know some of those punches was for Vander too, man, because I was like, yes, get your ass up. You gonna take this ass whooping, man. You gonna take this ass whooping. I was like, yes, Vi, yes. So, but ultimately, yeah, she reveals that Powder is working for Silco, and it kind of just distracts her, and Savika's scummy ass stabs her. But Caitlyn's back there too, gets the shot off, and she starts running right back to Silco too. And you know what? the fear in Silco's eyes when he heard Vi is back. Oh, you would have thought she said Vander was back, the way she looked at him. But I was thinking to myself, yes. Because I was like, anything to make this motherfucker sweat. I was like, damn it, yes. But continue. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to recollect what's happening. But going back to like Jace and Victor, Jace is having his relationship with Medarda and everything, and there's a certain moment with Victor's character where I wasn't too sure what was going on, because Heimerdinger is very wary of these two right now. He's very wary of what they're getting into while he's letting it go on. Excuse me. But there's a certain moment because of Victor's ailment. He's dying right now, and there's like a moment where the thing he creates is like a magical codex, and I was thinking to myself, is he just so entranced by this thing that is it progressing his ailment, or is it the ailment that's making it worse, and like this is the magical effects? I wasn't too sure. But it was like it felt like very Lord of the Rings too, like the One Ring, like calling to Frodo or something like that, you know. And I guess Heimerdinger kind of sees that. He sees that, and there's this moment where he says to Jace and Victor, if you were ever going to listen to me, let it be now. Get this fucking thing out of here. Because like I said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I truly believe that Victor has the best intentions in the world. And we see a lot of his upbringings. We get flashbacks to him. And it's funny enough, who kind of his mentor is Singe. And there's a common thing, like I touched on it with Jace, the duality of your morals, you know, where at one side, you know, you have the progression, but that progression ultimately leads to a very twisted results of your intentions, I guess if you could say it that way. Because even though I do feel for Victor, and he comes from Zon, so he wants nothing but the best for the people and the creations that he's going to make too, and I wholeheartedly do feel like, you know, he doesn't have any ulterior motives and everything, despite who kind of, mentored him with Singe and everything. But it just had a very somber foreshadowing moment for me, because it seems like while he has the right track of mind and everything, this magical thing's got him all twisted. It's got him all twisted, because I it's not crazy to say that he's going to keep inventing things and keep pushing the limits of his creativity. I think it's going to be at some detriment of somebody, because the way that Heimerdinger looked at this thing, man, it was like he saw like a glimpse of the apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, they just can't see his point of view. Heimerdinger has all the wisdom in this world, but ultimately it's predicated on the past. And Jace is in that mindset that he's looking towards the future, while Heimerdinger is stuck in the past, and he's stuck in his ways because he's seen this before, and Jace is just convinced that he can do it a better way. And just to make things even more complicated, Victor's dying. And like there's moments where they're trying to convince Heimerdinger, saying these inventions, the progress, the possibilities that we can have, it can help people today. I mean, like, Heimerdinger, you're fucking immortal. You know what I mean? You've lived so long that you can't possibly contemplate our humanity right now, because we don't live as long as you. Think about that. Like, a decade for you, that's like a quarter of our fucking life, man. and like I said, I kind of find it hard to find a justification for either side. Or no, I kind of find it hard to not see a justification for either side, because Victor is literally dying, and Jace is like, this could save his life. We can't just disregard this. It can help so many people. But Heimerdinger knows where this goes, and I believe him. There's this one conversation that Heimerdinger and Victor has, like looking onwards, and Victor asks him, "Have you ever contemplated death?" And imagine asking an immortal that. Do you contemplate death? And I'm thinking to myself, he has to, right? You live so long that you see everybody else die around you. There's no way you haven't. But just the irony of asking an immortal, like, do you think about dying? it's just, oh my gosh, I loved it. I love the conversation between them. But it just sets Victor between a rock and a hard place, because like this is something that could potentially save his life, but it's dangerous too. And in the look in Heimerdinger's eyes, he was like, dude, either you take care of this shit now, or I'm gonna do it for you. But moving on, where are we at right now? So Vi's back, but she's hurt, and they I guess they find their home, Powder and Vi's home. And Vi is just, god damn it, this girl's tough. This girl's tough, man. Because like there's this moment where she jumps off the cliff and like she's fucking bleeding and stabbed here too, and like she just takes like a rough ass fall, and she lands too, and it's like I was like, you're not fucking dead right now? My god, you're a tough girl. You're tough. But yeah, so they find Vander's home, and the goons that follow her is Silco's goons. And because once Silco finds out that Vi is alive, he goes sees Marcus. Oh my gosh, I really can't stress how much I hate this fucking guy right now, man. Because like he goes into his daughter's room, and that's where Marcus is find him. Oh my gosh, and the terror between Marcus and Silco is just so prominent right now, because he has these two fucking whacked out shimmer junkies, I'm guessing, with him too. It's this guy who's got like the it eyes going in all but the same direction. But it like I said, it's that twisted mirror again, because it's kind of like the same relationship that Vander and Grayson had, but this version of it is so distorted and everything, because it's not on equal footing. They don't have a good relationship, and they don't have the best intentions for Zahn or for Piltover. You know, I mean, like Marcus, if anything, he's just trying to survive at this point. He's just trying to survive because he's just a pawn in somebody else's game. But yeah, he's the chief of police. Oh my gosh, and Silco is just giving every type of subtle hints that accidents can happen to this little girl's face, and I'm like, oh god, somebody just knock this guy out, please do, because he ultimately finds where Vi is at, and I can't lie, it was a cool scene. It was really cool scene between Vi and Silco, much to Silco's dialogue, because like while he's going on this fucking monologue of how he's changed the Powder into Jinx, and he sees her potential and everything. At the same point, I was like, you know, they relate. They kind of relate, because like as much as I hate Silco, you know, he did kind of bring out the potential of Powder, and at the same time, we can't deny that they kind of had the same goal in a way. I'm struggling to say that, because, you know, Vi saw the potential in Powder in Act 1. She saw what her adventures can do, her gadgetry and everything. And ultimately, Silco kind of brought that out of her. You know, she said, she was like, although we thought Vi was the prodigy, he found his monster in Jinx. And that's what I was thinking about, because we saw that conversation between Vander and Silco in Act 1, where he's saying that he wants to scare Piltover with the monsters or the creations that he made in Zahn. And I was like, well, yeah, you got it. You definitely got it. Jinx is that for you, man. Because she's fucking terrorizes Piltover with the explosions. It was like I said, it was goddamn terrorists up there. She's off her fucking rocker and everything. And there was like a moment where Jace is in front of the council after the Hex Tech gem got stolen and everything. And like they ask him, like, is it going to be okay? Like could they make something with this? And he says, in the right hands, yes. The right hands, yes, because it didn't even dawn on me that even though Jinx is fucking out of her mind right now, you know, she's very tech savvy. I mean, like, the ingenuity of Jinx alone with the gadgets and everything, just imagine what she can do on something on this scale with Hex Tech alone. Yeah, Silco has his fucking monster. There you go. I mean, like, and this is what he wanted too. So I guess in a certain way, you can kind of look at it that way, that Vi and Silco kind of had the same goal as it pertains to Powder, because they just wanted to bring out her full potential, and in a sick way, it kind of happened. I can't say it kind of happened, yeah. But yeah, we definitely see some callbacks too, because the same guy in the bar in Act 1 that Vander kind of helped out with the mercenaries. It's the same guy that Caitlyn meets and helps Vi get back on his feet, though. But it was very short-lived, because he ultimately turned around and I guess kind of betrayed him. But like I said, it looks like he went through the fucking ringer. He strung out on the shimmer shit and everything. But like, it was a very wholesome moment that, you know, Caitlyn has with this guy, because it was very sweet. He didn't want to see Vi, he wanted Vi to see her that way. He's like, I'd rather her not see me like this, and I kind of get it there too. And at the end of the day, I didn't really even blame him for selling out. He didn't really sell him out, but like, it's kind of alluded to that, because he just takes the shimmer from one of Silco's goons, I guess, like as a reward. But Vi doesn't really blame him. I mean, look at the state of the guy. I mean, like, you can't help but feel sorry for him. But yeah, like, Vi and Silco have their tit for tat, and like and it's a good dialogue piece because it ends off with them fucking dropping the fucking house on Silco's head, and I loved it too. I loved every fucking moment of it. But yeah, so Jinx, this is a funny one. Jinx finds out that Vi is back. Ultimately through the fucking bartender. This is probably one of my favorite scenes because she has that adorable it's kind of, she keeps you on edge because you don't know what she's gonna do, but it's so cutesy in a way that it's like I'm scared, but I'm also warm, filled with joy seeing it too, because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen to this fucking bartender right now because she's asking questions. But she finds out Jinx is back. Sorry, Vi is back, and Savika kind of crawls back, saying that they lost her and everything. And it's fucking Jinx who turns around. She's like, lost who? It's so Harley Quinn. I'm sorry I'm making the comparison, but it's so Harley Quinn. Oh my god. And she strings this bitch up. So, oh, excuse me. She strings Savika up when Silco comes back and painted her with liar and everything. And I was like, Jinx is a goddamn fool, man. She's a character. I couldn't help but laugh because why Savika, she's thinking she's going to take pleasure out of Jinx finding out that Vi is back, and she caused all this mayhem and stuff like that. She kind of plays it off like, oh, 10 out of 10 toots, but it's clips with no cigar. I loved it. I love that scene. One of my favorite scenes. But she, oh my gosh, like Jinx is probably yeah. There's heartfelt moments. There's tragedy moments with her, but it's definitely lighthearted moments where I was like, this is. She's doing a wonderful job, the voice actor. Oh my gosh. But to end it off there, we get the meeting between Vi and Jinx. She lights up the flare that says, if you need to find me, you find her that way. But yeah, they finally meet. And this is what we've been waiting for. Like, they haven't seen each other for years, and you're just anticipating whether or not that, you know, is Jinx going to recognize her? Is she going to think it's just a illusion or a hallucination and everything? And that was going through the back of my mind too, because like, oh my gosh, talk about her state of mind right now is just cracked, because in her Jinx cave, I guess she's got like a fucking mannequin of Milo, you know, like in like a plushy goggle of claggers and everything. I was like this chick is out of her fucking mind right now. Yeah, so I didn't know how it was going to go. I thought she was going to attack Vi, but you know, hopefully she realized it wasn't an illusion. But there's like this one point where Caitlyn kind of walks up, and I was like, stay down there. I was like, Vi should have said like let me talk to her, okay? Let me give you, because once Powder sees her, she's like, well, who's that? Who's that? What? She has blue hair. Blue hair. Did you replace me? She has blue hair. I don't know. Is that me? What happened? And then Caitlyn kind of puts it together like, oh, this is fucking Jinx. Yeah, your sister's coming downtown. That's what I thought was happening, but everything kind of just spirals out of control because the fucking firelights come out of nowhere. They start attacking. It was one of the dopest action sequences ever too. I loved it. Like, cause this Jinx and Vi throw down, man. They really do. Cause like the Jinx is firing off all different type of shots, and there's this one scene where there's this one part of the scene where like they're gliding towards her, and they throw like the crystallized grenades, and Jinx fucking pops that right in front of her, and then she dodges like the edge of the board, but at the same time leaves a fucking grenade on. I was like, this chick is really Batman. I was like, wow. I was like, damn, she's really going ham right now. And talk about like another world of awareness, because I'm wondering like, is this like this mental psyche of her that's just cracked right now. I'm wondering if that's helping like her combat capabilities, because there's one point where she's like distracted and like this guy comes behind her and slashes down, like she doesn't even look. I'm like Ultra Instinct style, like dodges and kicks the guy in his fucking face. And there's a certain point where she's just unloading, like letting that chopper sing, man. Just really just unloading on these guys and everything. And like she's just laughing, and Vi is looking out, and it's like, what the fuck happened to you? what happened and everything, and like, but ultimately, like, Vi takes a shot, but not before giving her because we know Vi throws downs too. Not before she gives out anything, she takes a shot and gets knocked out and everything. But sorry, Jinx just kind of gets stabbed in the leg and everything, and then there's a moment where the mask guy. I guess he kind of recognized Vi, and like one of his goons was about to stab her, and he just says, "Take her." And this is kind of, I guess, it's kind of leading us to the theory, because now at this point I'm like, yeah, it's gotta be Echo. It's gotta be Echo, right? It's gotta be Echo. But there's a lot of things that this set up, because once they disappear, Jinx is just off the rocker again. She's like it's so heartbreaking too, because they just found each other. Oh my gosh, I honestly don't know what's going to happen next. Because everything just leads into everything just leads into a worse and worse situation. Because with Jace, Heimendicker, and Victor, they don't end on great terms, because ultimately Jace kicks Heimendicker out. I mean, like, really, it really be your own. Like I was like, I can't believe he did that. I really can't believe he did that. But at the same time, I think I can too, because he's in a tough situation, because like he's trying to save Victor's life, and Heimendicker is he's so cautious right now that like I struggle to see Heimendicker's point of view now. Because ultimately, I agree with him that this stuff shouldn't be taken lightly, and all the safeguards in the world should be put in place. But like we're talking about somebody like a dear friend of yours, like he's dying, you know. I mean, like, maybe Heimendicker's just at a place where he's like, death is a natural part of life. Like, he's just seen so many of his friends go that it's kind of desensitized him. I mean, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, like. You can give all the lectures, you can give all the speeches in the world, but what is that getting done, though? You know, what is that getting done? And I kind of see Jace's view. So even though I didn't like the decision and how it worked, I was like, well, maybe this was for the best. But at the same time, I was like, fuck you, Jace. I was like, fuck you, Jace. There was a small part of me that was thinking to myself, like, I hope this shit blows up in his face. I hope it does, because he's cracking down on the underground now, and he gives Marcus the authority to, like, yeah, we're about to become like mandatory curfews, you know, searches on site, you know what I mean, like blockades and everything. Just the most, I guess, regime you can be towards these people, and it's going to lead to war. Honestly, that's what it seems like it's teeing up to, because not only did that lead to that, you know, we have Vi, Jinx, and potentially Echo, like their dynamic, how that's going to work out. Jace kind of leading the charge against Zaun right now and pressing the people there, and like it's the same situation that they're going to have in Act 1. And then Victor, like I said, you know, while you have good intentions of what you want to do, I feel like the opposite side of progressing and seeing accomplishments and seeing the good that you can do for people, I think the other side of that is a very ugly side, where you see your ambitions kind of distorted, and it kind of evolves into him being Singe again. So I guess that was Singe that we saw in Act 1. I mean, like, we kind of knew already, but yeah, he revisits him again, and he kind of sees understand that, you know, maybe the extreme is the way to go. Maybe taking extreme measures is the only way to get things done. And like, you know, I guess I can't blame that either. I mean, like, the guy is dying, you know, he has to, he's trying all possibilities, not only for himself, but for people of Zaun who's growing up. And ultimately, him growing up in Zaun has kind of caused this disease, I guess. But yeah, he's like, I'm out of options, man. I'm out of fucking options. Sorry, I'm stuffy right now, and I'm sick, and my allergies are fucking killing me, and it's 1 a.m. in the morning. He's like, yeah, I'm out of options, man. Like, let's see what we can do. And oh gosh, I don't even know where to go with this, man. I don't even know where to go. I don't know where they're going to end up, because I am fucking hooked. I'm fucking hooked, man. I can't wait to see what's going to happen because I guess the most thing I'm looking forward to, surprisingly enough, is what happens with Jace, you know, and Heimendinger. I like, I'm intrigued, and like my favorite characters are definitely between Jinx, Vi, and Caitlyn. I want to see where they end up in Zone right now, but I guess I'm more intrigued of what's going to happen with Jace and where he ended up with Heimendinger. I want to see how that unfolds more than anything. Yeah, because I'm hoping Heimendinger's like, fuck it. I tried to warn you. I hope that. Sorry, I'm just being ignorant as fuck. But you know, let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think. You know, give me some speculations. What you're gonna think is gonna happen in Act 3. I see people are still holding out on that Warwick is still going to come around. I mean, like, we see Singe, you know, and I guess Vander's body was still in the alley. I mean, like, they could have taken and started experiments with him. So some people still have their fingers crossed for Warwick. I certainly hope so. I mean, like, it's not something I have to see, but it'll be very cool to see too. Is there any videos I should react to before Act 3? I know it was very it was very fortuitous that I saw Warriors and saw Caitlyn and Vi and everything. So before I saw Act 2, so is there anything I should see before I see Act 3? I don't know. Let me know. But I want to know what you guys think. Like I said, I think somebody put it very thoroughly too. That this is like a book club. We just come back and talk about our thoughts and feelings and reactions. But please let me know what you guys think. I love interacting with you guys in the comments and seeing your perspective and different point of views. Let me know what you found most frustrating or funny, or your favorite scenes, or if you even want to rate it, like what was your favorite act so far? Because I'm curious to see once Act 3 comes out, if I just watch all of it through and through from Act 1, 2, and 3, how it will flow. Because this is a very different format for Netflix, you know, releasing on a weekly basis. You know, I don't think they've ever done anything like that, you know, because like usually when you have the binging method, you can just watch everything and everybody talks about it and it's gone like after the first weekend. But yeah, like I think this is really permeating because I see a lot of more reactions and the word is kind of getting out. And it was weird too. I was like, this is not in Netflix top 10. I mean, like, I know Red noticed The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. You know, I mean, it's obviously number one. They're superstars. But I was like, it's not even in the top 10 for Netflix. Anyway, that's a different conversation. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun talking about it. But until Act 3, yeah, we'll definitely see you then. All right, guys. Laters.